so well in the past 2 weeks, and I've seen a couple of submissions, amazing submissions so far. So please let me quickly introduce the facilitator and can dive right in. So I've done this before now, but for the sake of those that were not around, let me quickly introduce the facilitator. So Benga Obikayo Oya is our facilitator for community. As a seasoned data analyst at a multinational EU-based organization, he has honed his skills in deriving actionable insights from complex data sets, but his influence extends far beyond the corporate world. He is a dedicated community lover and born tutor. He has mentored numerous aspiring data analysts, many of whom have gone on to successful careers. His commitment to knowledge sharing has led to featured talks and tutorials on global stages, including the Microsoft Retour YouTube channel. He started his YouTube channel at Data Doctor, so please do well to check him out. And he is dedicated to sharing data nuggets, and where he is dedicated to sharing data nuggets and career tips with a wider data family. So that's a brief, a little brief about our facilitator for tonight. So he is actually in this introductory part. So I'll give him the floor. I'll hand over the mic to him so that he will continue from where I stopped. So Benga, over to you. We're happy to have you today. So let's try and, appreciate him. Let's use emoji to, encourage him on the stage. Well, thank you very much. So you're welcome, Benga. Over to you. You can use the chat. You can use the chat. Let's welcome him.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, guys. It's nice to be here. I hope I'm audible enough. Can you guys hear me?
Please go ahead. I can hear you from my end.
All right. So I don't know how to start. So my name is Benga, also known as the Data Doctor. It's nice being in this community. I mean, I've met quite a number of people right here, and I mean, I've met a lot of interesting minds. I mean, people that are at their early stage of their career, and they are, really trying so hard so hard and so smart actually, to get better, to improve their skills as much as they can. So first of all, I mean, I also want to say that, sorry guys. Sorry. Yeah. So I also want to say that I want to appreciate Chisom, who is the initiator of this great idea. I mean, I've not done anything Excel challenge before. I mean, we've heard of a lot of machine learning and the likes, but something that is more focused on improving skills like data cleaning, I've not done that before. So I jumped on this because of that. I just wanted to, try it out and share with people. So I'm quite a talkative, so I need to caution myself and move on to start cleaning the data set. So I'm going to share my screen. So let's do this. So now, yeah, to clean the data set, I mean, there are many tools you can use. You can use Python, you can use SQL, you can use Excel. Yes, you can use Excel, and you can also use Power Query, right? Many people were saying that, oh, I'm using Power BI. Power BI is not for data cleaning. It's not for that kind of thing, right? So what you do with Power BI is visualization, business intelligence, modeling, you can do transformations with your DAX and all those things, but data cleaning, removing noise, all those things, blah, 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 you do them with in Power Query. So Power Query is a powerful addendum, or I'll not call it, let me just call it addendum, or an attaché software that Microsoft has brilliantly, attached to the, analytical softwares like Excel. So Excel has Power Query, right? Power BI also has Power Query. So if you go into Power BI to import the data set, you are now using the Power Query. It's not really Power BI you're using. What you're actually using is Power Query, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So because the file is in Excel, I said Excel, Abby. I think the file is actually CSV. So I'm going to share my screen now. We are going to be cleaning it in, let me say, from Excel in Power Query. I'm looking at what can I share. I don't want to share. Let me just share this window, and if you guys can see my screen, please let me know. Yep. So I believe you guys can see my screen, right? You can see my screen. Please give me, um, yeah. So please just give an emoji or something. All right. So yeah. So this is the data set here. It's quite, it's quite small in my own opinion. Yeah. So yeah, you can see. So the first thing you want to do when you want to clean a data, is to first of all duplicate this data set. That's the first thing you want to do. Okay. So first of all, duplicate the data sets, and so that's what we're going to do here. Okay. So what do we do now? So there are two ways to go about it. So if we want to clean in Power Query, you don't actually have to duplicate data sets, because automatically what happens is that when you move this data into Power Query, right? So Power Query just takes a copy of the data and automatically leaves the original one here, right? So that's what I think we're gonna do. So how do we do that now? Let me move this away. So that's the first thing to do. Where is it? Data. So you come to the data tab here. Sorry, my guy is acting up. Okay, so you come to data tab here, and you can see get and transform here. So when I was learning Excel, there was nothing like this, right? But now you have Power Query in Excel, which is quite brilliant. So we see get and transform here, and we can say that from table. Okay, so what I did, I want to get this data from table. So when you say from table, yeah, from table, it should work. Yeah, sorry, my stuff is acting up. All right. This is uh sorry guys. Perhaps I need to reload. Just give me a minute.
Oh, I want to go and sew. I don't have time again.
All right, guys. So sorry for that glitch. I don't know. My exam has never hung before. Um, yeah. So yeah, we're back to sharing the screen, and I'm saying that so like I was saying, you can decide to clean this data. You can start to clean it in Excel right here, just as you are looking at. I can start cleaning it here, but I would prefer that we move to Power Query so that we can show much more, much more skills and other people can do some other things. So we move to data of this. So then you say, so you come to get and transform. So you come to the data, tab, and get and transform group, and you say from table. So what happens is that a copy of this data will be taken. You can see now. So as if you want to. So the first thing that happens that Power Query does is it creates it's convert this into a table, and my table has headers, of course, and we say okay, and you see now. Then it oh goodness. Then it opens Power Query, right? And that's what's happening here. Can you guys see this now? I hope you can see this. Let me go to view and remove these ones. Okay, so guys, this is what we have now. And naturally, when I see data like this, I just feel good. Like they've presented a table before me, right? So can you guys see this part? Because what I shared was Excel. Is it still showing, please?
Yes, you can see it.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I was quite skeptical. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we have where I want to start our data cleaning process. The first thing you want to do is you want to explore the data, right? So when you explore the data, you want to understand, what's the data all about? What does it mean? Ideally, it's believed that it is assumed that you've checked the data dictionary, which is like the PDF that was given with this challenge. You've checked, oh, what does ID mean here? What does name mean? What does age mean? Does it make any sense? This is, I need to remove this. Sorry. I see that some thing that I did are still here. So I'm gonna delete this one. All right. So, what does age mean? What does city mean? All these things, what do they mean? Do you get it now?
What is it?
So that's the first thing. All right. But now, to explore, one thing you want to do, you can come to view to first see, do we have, what's the percentage of errors, what's the percentage of, nulls and all those things. So you can come to column quality. Okay, so you come to view here, you click column quality, and you can see what you have here. So you can look through one after the other and try to have an idea how, the quality of the data we are working with. But I assume that of all your data, maybe just 2%, 2% of the data of the whole data set is empty. Then it means you don't even need to do anything with the data. The data is useless, right? So that's one advantage of doing that. So let's come to to the ID column. I would see that valid. We have 100% valid. That is, there are no errors here. There are no empty values. Under the name, 100% valid as well. Age is 100% valid. City is 100% valid. Blood type is 100% valid. Okay. Move to education, 100% valid. Employment, 100% valid. Salary, 100% valid, which is okay. Health condition, 100% valid. Credit score. Oh, guys, sorry. I think this is a data set that I cleaned already. I think it's a data set. So sorry. Let me look for something. So what I'm gonna do is, sorry for the glitches, please. Yeah, so because I did the challenge too, so I'm having copies where I already cleaned it and it's give me that version. So we're gonna do. I'll just hopefully I have it here. Data copy. Okay, I guess this is it. So I'm going to share again. Sorry for this is not all right. So here we are. Yes, I think this is the real data, dirty data. I don't want any part of it to be clean at all so that we can go through it together. Yeah. So come here, you click anywhere in the data from table and yeah, and say, okay, convert it to a table and takes data into a copy of the data into Power Query. So if you have any question, just as I go along the line, can just pen it down, okay, so you don't forget. Yeah, it's happening. Okay, so here we are, right? So as I was saying, we'll check the quality of the data sets. So you can see the ID is 100% valid, the name, the age. Can you see my screen, please? Someone should just say yes because I can't see anything on the Zoom.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So the
Yes,
blood
yes.
type, so you can look at blood type now. When you look at the blood type, you can see this 99% valid, less than 1% is
What is it
empty,
now?
right? So less than 1% is empty, and from there you can have an idea of how many rows are empty here. And yes, one thing I always want us to do before we do all this is come down here. All these that we're looking at is column profiling based on 1,000 rows. A number of rows we have are more than 1,000. So you come here to click here and you say column profiling based on the entire data set. So the percentages you have here would update to the entire data set, and that's what we need, right? So what we are exploring is the entire data set and not just 1,000 rows. Okay, so this is still 100% valid, 100% valid, 100% valid. Look at gender now. So what do you think? So look at gender. What can you see here? Gender, just 2% of gender is valid. 98% of this column is empty. So I want you guys to be thinking, what do you think? What can you derive from something like this, right? What's your advice? What do you think we should do to this gender column? Because 90%, almost 100% is empty, it's null in this column, right? So that we can see, we note that city is 100% valid. For blood type, you have less than 1% empty, right? For education, you can see 7% is valid and 30% is empty. So you can have an idea of what percentage of your old data set is empty. Here, the health condition 97% is valid and 3% is empty, and that's it. Okay, so that's the exploration we've done right there. You can also check, look in here and look at the unique values you have. These are the various explorations you would want to do. So it gives you an idea and makes you make a decision that really makes sense. So we are exploring now. If you looked at ID, you can see the ID here. So before we do that, let us add something else. Let's add column distribution. Right. We're hiding column distribution. So from the PDF or data dictionary, and everybody have seen that the ID is said to be what? To be unique for each individual, right? But here, what we are seeing here is, so how you would know that the ID is unique or whatever column is unique is that you compare the number of
Carry.
distinct.
24?
Please mute yourself, guys.
Hey. Okay.
Can you please mute everybody? Okay, so how you will know that a particular column is unique, or how would I say it now, is more like a primary key, right? The primary key is a unique identifier of each record in a data set. Is that the number of distinct and the number of unique here must be equal, right? The number of distinct and unique must be equal. So what we are seeing here, number of distinct and unique are not equal, right? Number of distinct here means number of different values that you have, right? What you call unique here is the number of values that do not repeat, number of values that are not duplicated, right? So it means that if we have 1513 distinct and we have 1373 unique, it means that we have over 100 IDs that are duplicated, right? And so that's that about that. Here you can look at the name. And when we look at that, so we say we have over 100 IDs that are duplicated, you might as well say, and maybe it is the old record, or maybe it's the old row that is duplicated. So we'll also remove duplicate and we'll see, right? If it is the old row that is duplicated, then by the time we remove duplicates, these distinct and unique values, they must be equal. So we'll come back there. So you come to name here, you have 1656 distinct, 1653 unique. So here it's as if you have three names that are what? That are duplicated. So more like there are three duplicates here. In ID, there are over 100 duplicates. You can see how before you remove duplicate at all, you want to explore and see how many duplicates do we have? Does it make sense to remove them? Right? Are they true duplicates or not? Right? Coming to age, so here age you don't have anything here, because you have some abnormalities. You have unknown, blah 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 blah. So that's might be one of the reasons why you don't have that here. Yeah. So for gender, so you can see gender now. Gender, you have just 5 distinct. I mean, there's really nothing to even look at here because 98% are empty. So whatever the distribution may be, we are not bothered. We are not concerned. Coming to the city column, we have 7 distinct, right? 7 distinct cities and 0 unique. That is everything, are repeated, which is not a problem. But you can also, so looking at this distribution of blood type as well, you have 9 distinct and 0 unique, right? So come back and check it again. Education. See, they're taking some time on exploration because it makes your data cleaning faster. By the time you start cleaning now, everything will be very fast because we already understand the data sets. Coming to education, you can see we have 8 distinct, and we can check it out and see the distincts we have: associate, bachelor, bachelor's, high school, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so before I start doing this, just want to look at the distributions. Here we have 15 unique. Which other distribution is important to us? This is salary, of course, so this is not a problem. This is health condition, 6 distinct, credit score, date of admission. Okay, so now we have an idea of what this is. The next thing is we want to look at the values. Have an idea, look through the values. Okay, so just IDs. Come here, these are names. So here there are some case inconsistencies with the case here, which we need to transform. Look at the age. Now looking at the age here, there are a lot of age here, and there are a lot of the age span from 0 years right all the way to 101 years. Let's load more. I think that's the last. Yeah, from 0 years to 101 years, you can imagine. So we have people that are 0-year-old here. So this is outrightly an error, right? Perhaps from input or something is wrong somewhere, right? So these are the ages: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, All right. So yeah, to have age of 1, 2, 3, we might not have enough evidence to say that these are wrong, but when we look at the education, and that's why you must have eye for detail and you can use what you have to get what you need. If you look at the education here, now we've started exploring big time now. If you look at education, you can see that what you have here, you don't have a baby or I don't know, or whatever. So what we can do is let us, these ages that look abnormal, let us filter them out and let us see the other data. So all the things would make us decide what we're going to do, right? And let's say, okay. Now, yes, look at what we have. So look at the age column. Age column, we have 1, 3, 1, 0, blah, 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 blah. And let us look at this one that is age 1. What's the education? Bachelor. You can see now, bachelors. That is not possible, right? Someone that is 3 years cannot have another bachelor. 8 years has PhD. That's amazing, right? 2 years as associate, blah, blah, blah. 0 years, they already have PhD before they were born and all those things. So here you can have an idea that, okay, so everything that is less here, all these small, small numbers here, okay, then they are what? They are errors. They are valid, but they are errors, right? They are valid, but logically they do not make sense. Okay. So for everything you want to do, you should have more than enough reason to do whatever you want to do. So you might be thinking of how can we handle this now already? So looking at gender already, see what we're going to do here. So what we're going to do here, like I said, what do you think we are going to do? So maybe you guys should put it in the comments, put it in the chat now while I'll look through it and see the answer and pick the answer. So what do you think you should do to this gender column that is 98% empty? Coming to city, from here we could see that we have 3 distinct cities. Outbook, I don't know what this is. So here, this one and this one, which one is correct now? And this, so we need to join everything together and make it just one. So, and you can do a bit of research, and I saw that this is the correct one. This Outbook quickly or something. Then we have Atlanta. We have to make it consistent. Convert the abbreviations into full names. So that's what we're going to do there. For blood type, blood type is just blood type, aside for the null values. What else? For education, same thing as well, right? Bachelor, associate should be associate, bachelor should be bachelor's, just one. High school should be high school, and like that. Coming back, the employment status, yes. What we can do here is we can look through and say, okay, we can divide it into groups, okay? Divide it into groups. When you divide it into groups, you can have employed, right? We can have employed, non-employed, retired, and students. That is one classification, right? I can see some people when they were doing their own, you were having employed, self-employed, employed and self-employed. There's overlapping right there. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. For salary, we are just going to remove all these ones and just do some transformations there. So without much ado, let's just get back and start doing these things. So first thing you want to do is that let us remove the duplicates. Now, whenever you remove duplicates, let me remove all these ones. We don't need them again. Whenever you want to remove duplicates, you must have at the back of your mind that the duplicates you're removing is just not, this 6812 is occurring many times. Occurs twice. So I want to remove duplicates. You cannot remove duplicates in a single column. The number of duplicates automatically has to be what? Across, right? Across the whole data sets. All right. So if we come to whatever, anything you want to do, if you come home here and this, so if you come home here and you see here and you remove duplicates here, where is the move duplicate to? I'm always going through up and down. Yeah, so there's multiplicates here. Now, if you want to multiplicate, you can think you're removing it in the whole column. No, you're moving it across the whole data set. All right. So now you have removed the duplicates. So the issue with this one is that you might not know how many duplicates. If it is Excel, and I will tell you, you have removed 3 duplicates. All right. So, but how do you know again? You can come to the view and check the profile. Sorry, the distribution. When check the distribution, what can you see now? You can see that this one that was 1516 is now 1513. And now this is now unique. All these names now, they are now what? They are now unique, right? But this, okay, is also, sorry. So I think we have removed a bit too much data. So let me cancel this. Yeah. So I'll come here and say remove duplicates. Exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so so what happened that time was that all the duplicates here were removed, but we came here and we said remove duplicates. You can as well just highlight the old data set and say remove duplicates. So here we can see we have 1656, 1516, 56, but the IDs we have here, they are still what? They are still duplicated, which means that unlike what the um data dictionary stated, right? There was a mistake somewhere, which we don't know, but according to what we have in this data set, this ID is not unique. Okay, so that's that about the ID. I think there's really nothing to let me remove this one. So there's really nothing to do about this again. Now for the name, we need to transform it, and as you might have thought, when we look at this place, you can do it a simpler way, you can do it in a much more rigorous way. But I'll take the simpler approach. For what I did is that I splitted this into first name and last name, and I removed all the titles and whatever, right? So the decision to do whatever I want to do can be from the business logic or from on requests from what your manager asks for you to do. That, oh, we need first name and we need last name. Then you know that, okay, I think I'm in for it. Okay. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to transform it. Okay. And they'll come to transform here and capitalize each word. The moment you do that, you have already cleaned this column. That's it. Okay, so it's as simple as that. You can do that. So you can see that some. So what makes it? What might make it? What will make it difficult if you want to split these into first name and last name is some of the names. Some of these individuals, they have three names, right? And some of them have titles like this one. You can see DDS here, which is Doctor of Dental Surgery. I think some have doctor, PhD, all those things. So for me to have splitted mine into first name and last name, that was the hurdle I had to face. Okay, so we can move on to age. So we've cleaned name column, we've cleaned the ID column. No big deal there. Okay, so to check for ID column. So one of the reasons why I actually love using Excel for data cleaning is the flexibility for me, right? Because look at me going to, I'm trying to look for a particular, 1202. I think 102, it's a duplicate. Where is it? So I want to show you guys something, right? And let me see. Hopefully this is a duplicate. Yeah, beautiful. You can see now. So what I was explaining about the duplicated IDs, you can see that 102 occur again, 102 occur again. But are these two, are they true duplicates? Right? Are they true? That's the question. Are they true duplicates? This one that is 102, look at this for what? Cynthia Thomas. You get it? And this one is for John Lopez. Okay. Even the ages are not the same thing. Even their blood group. So it means that these guys are two different people. This one has master, this one has high school. Okay. So, so there are two different people. So we need to, so in a real world scenario, you have to make much more inquiry, okay, into what the ID actually mean. Does it mean, I don't know, does it mean, is it a class ID? Is it a society ID? Whatever. Okay, is it a family thing or something? Okay, so just to have a clearer understanding of the data set. For the age, you can see here, for the age, I would say that we'll come back to the age, right? Because I would want to do whatever I want to do in Excel, just to show you some other things in Excel. So we can use two different tools at least. So what do you guys think we should do to this gender column? Let me look at they are not duplicate. Please go over it, sir. Which one? I noticed some ID had two different names. Moving duplicate. So I think, just like person said, I think I have addressed that. So I'm actually looking at the comments to see if somebody talked about the gender column. Okay, so what we're gonna do to the gender column, it's 98% is empty, so we don't need the gender column. You click it and you say delete it. That's it, right? If it were to be Excel, I probably might just hide it, right? So in case of anything, but you just delete it, you don't need it, right? Because it will not add anything to your insights, nothing at all, right? And someone said I missed how you sorted the names. I didn't sort the names. Okay, I just did transform here. Oh, sorry. So you right click on the column and you come to transform and you see capitalize each word, right? So that's a simpler way to go about it. For city, come and look for what is unique here. So for all these ones, let's replace ATL with Atlanta, Bauti with Baltimore. So let's do that first. So we come to, is it home now? Move this away. We come to home, where is replace values. So one way to do it, you can say replace values, click replace values here, or you can just click any of the columns or whatever that you want to replace. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say click this and I'm going to say replace values. Okay. So value to find, I'll just paste this one here. So that's basically what. Now you have to be careful. What you want to do here is you have to click match the entire cell content. Because if you don't match the entire cell content, I'll try it for you and I'll show you what will happen. What happened is that whatever, this one that is present in the column, what Power BI, I said Power BI, what Power Query will do is to just go and pick this and replace it whatever you put here. It means that in places where you have this name in the column, right? Power Query will just come and highlight this one like this and replace it with this whole name. At the end of the day, we'll be having Albukwe or something, right? So, but when you say match entire cell content, it will not replace anything in that cell unless it contains only this, right? So that's why we need to do that. So we say okay. You can check it out. Okay. And for the ATL as well, you can say replace ATL by Atlanta. That's Atlanta. Like I said, match entire cell content. Okay. What else? Let's load everything. So we have, okay, Baltimore by Baltimore. So place, so say Baltimore. Replace it with Baltimore. Don't forget to do this match entire cell content. Okay. What else? So I think that's it. For this one and this one, it's just a matter of a case. So we can just right click transform and let's capitalize each word. And we should be fine. You have just 3 columns. I mean, just 3 cities. Good. And we've cleaned this. They're all in the same case and they're good. Okay, we'll move on to blood type. Remember, I said we are coming back to the age, right? So yeah, I think you guys should. I want it to be a bit interactive. Be thinking about what you should do. What you think we should do to the age column. There is unknown. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That does not make sense. Exactly. So just think about it. I'm going to ask, and you guys have to respond. All right. So for the blood type, what do we have? So I mean, this is actually the blood type. We have A positive, A negative, AB plus, AB minus, B plus, B minus, O plus, O minus, which is okay. What else do we need? Okay, we have nulls. So what we're gonna do is let us click this nulls and let us see. All right, so we have nulls here. Let's see, is there any common? So what happens is that when I look through a filtered part of a data set, I look at other, other values or other information and see, is there a pattern? Maybe, oh, this ones that they don't know their blood type, they are not educated. So it might give you an insight from there. And that's why I would not decide to remove this blood type, because what happens in hospitals is that many people don't even know, especially in Nigeria here, many people don't even know their blood type, right? And knowing the amount of people that don't know their blood type, it can give you another insight into people's awareness of their health. So you can see all these explanations that I'm doing. I'm trying to give a justification to my decision, all right, of not removing the nulls. Okay, because whatever you want to do, you must say, oh, this is why I'm doing this. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna replace the nulls by what now? Unknown. Okay. So that's what actually drives you saying, you choosing, oh, I'm going to use unknown, I'm going to use 0, I'm going to use whatever. Okay, or I'm going to leave them there. You understand? So even when you are doing, and remember that the nulls are very small. You understand? I can as well remove them. Okay, but I will not do that because I'm not building a model. And that's why I've always said that whatever you want to do with that data, right, to a large extent determines what you how you're going to clean the data set. If I was cleaning the data set to build a machine learning model now, I probably would clean it in a different way because for machine learning, it's better to have less number of data that is clean and good than data is so much and does not make sense, right? Because your model is as good as your data sets. So, but for this case, we are going to say null. Okay. Can just come here and just say unknown. Okay. And oops, yeah, it has to be null. Or like I said, you can just click null here and say place values and say unknown. Okay. And say okay, and we've handled. Yeah, that's a mistake right there. So it's actually blood type. And say null unknown. Okay. So I think that should be clean by now. You should not. Yeah. So now we have unknown. Okay. So all these people have their own then unknown. So because when you are done with your cleaning, you submit it, you present it, and if there's anything, oh, that unknown, we don't want to have it or whatever, then you can remove it. Okay, so for education, because the first thing you want to do is you want to preserve your data. Okay, you want to preserve the data. For education, so what can we see in education now? I've said that we're going to make it consistent. For the bachelor, put the bachelors together, put the high school together. So bachelor and bachelors. So what we're gonna do is for this bachelor, we'll say replace, copy here, paste here, and make it bachelors. Make sure you match the cell colon. You say okay, okay, and I think that's handled. What else? For high school, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just click this, filter it. So I click one of it, I replace it with high school. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I want to show you guys something. See what I did here. I filtered for high school, and I want to unfilter it back. You cannot even see clear filter here. So, and now if you do this, you cannot even see anything here. So how do you get all those associates and the likes back? So this is something that you will run into very often and can look weird. So what you do when you do something like this, you filter something to carry out a particular, transformation or operation, right? By the time you go back to unfilter again, you will not see it here. Why? Because everything is stored here. So what you do is you come to these applied steps, you come to the previous step here, which is filtered rows. Now you cancel it. It gives you a warning and you say delete it. And when you come back here, you have everything back. I hope that is clear. Okay, so associate, bachelor's, high school, master's, PhD. That makes sense, right? So let us look at the null. So for the null, how many nulls do we have? We have 216 rows that are nulls. They do not specify their education, right? So the question is, if we leave nulls in this data set, like I used to say, if we leave nulls in this data set, what negative impact would it have? Or if we replace nulls with something else rather than removing it, what negative impact will it have? So I've already said that for you to remove any data in your data sets, you must have more than enough reason to do that, right? Definitely, you don't want to have nulls for when you are building models, right? So you could as well just say, okay, let's just replace this education with maybe you want to go and get the original data. You can do that, which is like the best thing to do, or you just or you just or you just do like find a prediction model a machine learning model to predict what their values are going to be. So what we can do is we can replace the nulls by, let's say, I'm going to say not specified, right? So I'm going to say not specified. So come here, you say replace values and you say not specified. Okay, good. So now we have everything here. Okay, so as you are cleaning, you must be thinking about how your dashboard is going to be like. We move to employment status. Employment status, I said we are just going to classify everything. So what we want to do is once we remove all these ones is that bracket. So and the fastest and this smartest way to go about it is to just split columns by what? By delimiter, space, not space now. So let's say custom, and I'm going to say space and open brackets, right? Space and open brackets. Let us just do that. Great. So what we see what we have here, the ones that we splitted, you can see everything here. Okay, so you can as well just, yes, you can as well, but let's leave this first. Let's come back here and let us rename this one. Employment status, right? And let's check what we have. Employed, right? So now you have all those employed, gig, this, that, everything is now employed. Freelance, gig worker, both of them are employed too, right? So you want to rename this as employed. Retired, yes. Self-employed is employed too. You want to make it employed. Students and unemployed. So for me, these are the number of categories I want to have. So first of all, let us replace freelance and gig worker by employed. Okay, so let's click freelance here. Let's say replace values and say employed. Okay, so that's basically how you go about cleaning here. Self-employed as well. Replace values and we say employed. Okay. Look through, you say employed, gig worker, replace values and say gig worker, replace it with employed. So what else? So what you need is just consistency and your own idea of what you want to analyze. So you have employed, retired, students. So here you can say, okay, how many employed know their blood group? How many what's the average age of the employed, individuals, blah, blah, blah. So you can do analysis with what you have here. All right. So you can move on. For this one that we split it out, this is probably telling us about the the source of income for those that are employed, right? What's the income like? Is it business? This one says business close, contract, early, full time, gig work, internship, part time. So they seem to be giving us the type of work, right? So for me, I don't need it, and I'm going to delete it because to waste our time unnecessarily. Move on to salary. Remember that we still have age. We're going to undo that age last, right? I want you guys to think about what we should do to the age where we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, individuals that are having masters or whatever. So salary here. So what's the problem with salary? Like I said, first of all, you want to remove this. You want to remove this because look at the data type. Data type is also very important. When you're done with all this cleaning, you go through the old columns and confirm the data type so that you know that you're in a good page. So first thing I want to do is I want to remove all this dollar sign. Then, or okay, that's not the first thing. First thing I want to do is let us split out all these ones, just like we did the other time. So we are going to split it by delimiter and we'll say custom space and what? Open bracket. Okay, so it's not every time you split by space. If you split by space now, you have to start another. So I'll delete this other one. Yeah, so rename this again and say salary. So what do we want to do now? So once we remove this dollar sign, are we getting it now? Once we remove that dollar sign, so we say dollar, we say okay, gets out. There are also some brackets here. So my aim here is to make it to make everything number so that we can make the data set what? Can make the data set what? Currency, the data type currency, right? Replace the open brackets, replace the close brackets by nothing. And yeah, so everything we have here is number 0, you know, blah, blah, blah. Then now we have missing. Okay. So like I said, you want to check those things, what's happening there. Very good practice. But before you remove everything, you want to check everything and see what is actually happening here before I remove it. Okay, so we click missing. Okay, so you can see they're not so much, and these are the ones that are unemployed, right? These are the ones that are unemployed. And so what can we do here now? Okay. So because we want everything here to be numbers, we can as well just say, okay, for the missing ones, can say replace, right? Missing by what? 0. Okay, and say okay. Okay, so the same issue I mentioned the other time. So what do? You come here, the previous filtered, and you delete that filtered step, and we're back. So now we have numbers all through, and I think we are good, right? So and once you convert this to currency, automatically, so that you don't have money, or you don't have salary, so right there. So condition, here we have, so we have average, excellent, blah, 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 good and poor. So excellent and this, you know, what can we see now? We have two excellent, so we need to remove this, right? The open close bracket, question mark and exclamation. So you can as well just come here and say replace values. And so either you say space, okay, question mark and exclamation, what is it? And you close it, replace with nothing, and you say, okay, I hope it works. So yeah, that works. And there you have excellent. But still, we have some nodes, right? So let's check it out. What are they about? I mean, they're quite more okay. Just we have about 45 rows that are not X condition. So you can as well just replace null and say unknown. So for data set that does not tell you, oh, this is what you want to use the data set for, right? So they've given you they've made it very easy for you, because whatever decision you make is your decision. So I think taking the whatever challenge you want to be having, even if it is data cleaning, so another step would be, adding to the instructions that, okay, this is what this data set is meant for. This is what they want to achieve with the data set, so they will have the steps that we expect that you do, some better ways to go about it. So now we have average, excellent, good, poor, and unknown. If we are predicting this unknown does not make sense, we are as well just remove it, or we predict what their health condition is going to be like using what, maybe education or whatever. So for credit score, so what do you have for credit score? Credit score is just credit score. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you are adding it or whatever. So like the PDF states, right? It's just telling you and you see that those that have this credit score are those that are what? Those that are employed, right? So that means you can have not applicable. So it's possible that credit score is not applicable to somebody. For those that are unemployed, perhaps credit score are not applicable to them. So these things I'm saying are just my own assumptions. Remember that the instructions of the challenge says that mention your own assumptions, right? Those are the assumptions you made. So these are the assumptions that I made. And so I'm going to remove typo right here, and I'm going to replace null by NA. So we are going to say that replace values, and like I said, space typo this, and say okay. Let's see, is it gone? Oops, it's still there. So what happens like this, in case like this, it's possible that there's another space in front. So we are going to unselect all and select this alone, right? And you click it, and you can say replace whatever it is, just replace by 380. Okay, And that's it. So we come back here, we remove this step, and yep. Now you have, I think I faced this issue last time, right? So first of all, let me replace none by NA. Okay, none by NA, and yeah. So we have NA means not applicable. Do that, right? For this type of, because it's giving me too much issue, what do you think I can do? If it is as much as I wanted, I would have loved this to be very interactive, but so what do you think I can do? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to split it and get rid of that nonsense. Okay. So you can split by delimiter. In fact, it can just be called, what is it? Space save. And you can say, okay, here you have only typo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you can as well just delete this column and we are good, right? It's nothing like code. This is the way you should clean data sets. As long as it gives you the right results. So you can see that we are good. Everything is all numbers. We have NA. So lastly, to the last column, okay, not last column, maybe second to the last column, we have, what do we have now? Date of admission. Many people have been complaining about these dates. Funny enough, the simplest thing to just do as far as you pass through Power Query during your procedure, during your data cleaning process, is just to change this to dates. When you come here and change it to dates, everything will reset. Check it out. Can you see now? Everything is dates. You see, and that's all you need to do. There's no hard coding, nothing like that. Because Power Query is quite brilliant. It knows what is happening. So let's go through. And because the last thing I want to do is age, and bear with me, I'm willing to
Hello, sorry.
Hello.
Yep. Hello, so sorry. Please, how did you change the date again? I lost you at that point.
All right. So let's cancel this. Yeah. So this is the date we have originally, and then we can see that we have like some are in long form, some are in date time form. So Power Query understands all these things. So what happens is you change the data type to dates. How do you do that? You can either do it in home here. You can come to data type up here and change to date, or you just right click. No, not right click. Sorry, you just come to this small box here. Okay, ABC 1, 2, 3. You click it and you pick whatever you want here. You are picking date, and that's it. Okay, that's that. Okay, so let's go. Yep, you have a question. Sorry, I'm coming. Let me just finish, please. Can you just pen down your questions. Let's go through the data types, right? Remember, I said that the age is pending, and so for data type, because we're not going to be adding this ID at any point, so we're going to convert this ID to text, right? For the name, yes, name should be text. Age, we're coming to age. Age should be number actually, but you can't do that because of this unknown. City should be text. Blood type, yeah, should be text, correct. Where is it? Education text, employment status text, salary. So what should salary be now? What should salary be? Salary should be what? Currency, right? Now, when we convert salary to currency, I want you to note what's happening to the zeros now. So where is it now? So currency, and yeah, you can see zeros. So we can this zoom thing is disturbing me. So yeah, it's in currency, and I want to actually maybe I should just leave it. Okay. Yeah, so this currency already. So how you know this currency is because you have it .00 blah blah blah. And let's move for something, but maybe it doesn't, maybe it's not necessary. Let's just leave it. Okay, so salary, we've done that. Health condition should be, text. Yes, credit score can be text, right? That's my own opinion. Then date of admission is date. So we are good. We've cleaned this data set, except for what? Except for age. I'll close and load. Okay. I should have asked for any questions before I close and load, but let's just finish. I want to finish everything before we start taking questions. So you can see what just happened now. Power Query has opened another sheet. Can you see now? So you have the original one, which connected to table, then it creates another one automatically for you. And this is the clean data set here. Not clean actually, but you are left with age. So does anybody have an idea of what we can do with the age now? Does anybody have an idea? You can speak, right? You can speak before I go ahead. Can I finish copy normal number?
I think we can replace with mean value.
It's what?
Average. So maybe we can replace with mean value, average age.
Yeah, so that's an idea. She said maybe we can replace it with the average age. With the average age. So if you replace it with the average age, what you are running from, you eventually enter it. What do I mean by that is that what do you do with this unknown? I mean, I'm going to replace this unknown and say maybe all this unknown and all the empty, all the unknown. So what do you mean by average age? Can you explain, please? Because here we have 0, 2, 3, blah blah. So what are we replacing actually? Is it that you want to replace the unknown with average, right? Hello, she don't know. So to not waste much time, right? So there are two issues we want to handle here, guys. Right? I mentioned that there are some inconsistencies with the age. What's the inconsistency? First, number one is unknown. So if age is unknown, because of the analysis, I presume that one way or the other, we might need to get the average age or need the age for some of the analysis that will be needed later, right? And because of that, we want to undo what is in this age thing. Now, I don't want to just say, oh, the unknown should be replaced by average. No. Why? Because first of all, a number of the ages are not correct. Which one are not correct? All these 0, 1, 2, 3. How can somebody be 1 year old and the person has masters? I don't think you guys get what I'm talking about. How can somebody be 0 years old? Those kind of things, right? So it means that first of all, you yourself have to set a logic for yourself, which you're going to abide by. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a formula, right? An Excel formula. An Excel formula with if, average ifs, and all those things. That would handle both the unknown, right, and all these small numbers, all this unnecessary or big that does not make sense. But before I use that formula, I have an assumption. Number one, I assume that the data set that we have here, after looking through all these names, Bobby Jackson, Leslie, Terry, blah, blah, these are not Nigerian. So you cannot use Nigerian factors for them, right? So I have individuals from the United States. That's assumption number one. Okay, number one. Now, if it's United States, then it means that what I want to do for this age is that I want to the right age, right, using education. Look at it now. So I want to predict this age using what? Using education. It means that if you are in school, if your education or your highest education is high school, right, it's not possible for you to be 1 year old. It's not possible for you to be so. Are you getting it now? If your highest education is it's not possible for you to be 15 years old or something. Do you get what I'm talking about? So that's the idea. The minimum age of graduating from high school. I went online to check in the United States. Remember that the age we are saying for what? For the US guys, right? So it means that what we want to abide by all these ages must of living of achieving all this education in the United States. So and the lowest education you have here is what? High school, right? It means all those 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all those ones, we should not have any age that is less than the age of high school, because high school is the lowest here. It's like secondary school for them, right? So if the lowest age of living high school, of having a high school certificate, is 17 years. I saw 18 or something, but I picked 17, right? So that is 17. It means that, number one, if the ages, so I'm trying to explain the logic behind the formula I want to write now. If the ages in this age column, if they are less than 17, okay, if they are less than 17, that's or let me say, okay, if the ages here, if they are not less than 17, then you should stay as they are. However, if they are less than 17, okay, then we are going to say, okay, let me here are 17 or above. If you are 17, or let me say if the ages are unknown, if any age is unknown, for the unknown here, what is calculate the average age of what we have here of all the ages. If the age is less than 17, are you getting it now? We are going to calculate the average age for the education that we have here. For example, it might be confusing. Look at 15. 15 is less. 15 cannot have PhD, obviously, right? That's number one. Number two, 15 is less than what? 17. So for this kind of age now, okay, what we're going to tell Excel to do is replace this 15, right? For this person to, it means that I'm getting it. And replace this 15 by the average age of everybody in this data set that have PhD. Are you getting now? So that's what they call average if. Average ifs. For masters, not master. So anyone that is also less than 16 now, PhD also, that check. Me, I look for all the children older and look at their age. That makes sense, right? So I'm going to call it what? I can do this to automated. So let's call this. Oops, I lost you guys. So I don't know. I think I just. Can you guys hear me now? Please respond if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
So where did I get lost now? Where did you guys lose me? Where I'm writing the function, right? Or the formula, right?
Before you start writing the formula, the explanation you were trying to make.
So you can see my Excel file, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. So I said that we'll create another. I already explained the formula, the logic behind what I want to write for you. So what I'm going to do is equal to. So when I'm done with this, you will now tell me if it is. Hello.
You might have to explain the logic again. You might have to explain the logic again.
All right. So let me explain.
Breaking at that point.
All right. So what I'm saying is that we have age here, right? Where we have number one, we need to know what are the issues with this age column. So what are the issues? Already, like we mentioned, that we have age that is 0 years. How can somebody be 0 years old? It means that they've not given birth to you, right? And if I filter by the 0 and go to see, some people that have, it means that 0 here, some have PhD and they are 0 years old, some have associates, bachelors, blah, blah, blah. And some are 0 years old and they are employed. Are you getting it now? Some are 0 years old and they even have salary. So it's more earning $90,000, dollars or something. I get what I'm saying now. So it means that the problem is not actually all this other data. The problem is the age. There's a problem somewhere. Are you getting it now? And that is why we want to do like a little type of prediction. Okay, let's predict the age using other information. So I picked a particular information, which is education. So it won't be too complex, right? So let's go back. Now, how are we going to do it? First of all, I said I made some assumptions. Assumption number one is that I assume that all these individuals that you have here, look at their name now. Bobby Jackson, Leslie Terry, Danny Smith. Are these Nigerians? This person a Yoruba person, or this one Igbo? So they are not Nigerians, obviously. In fact, they don't even sound like any African at all. So I assume that these are Americans. They're from the United States. Number one. Assumption number two. So if that's the main assumption, it means that for us to get rid of all these nonsense ages, right? And I want to use education. Okay, I'll come and to education and say which is the lowest school here. Like, what's the lowest education you have here? It's high school, because after high school, I think you can have bachelor's, maybe associate and masters, then PhD. Okay, so if high school is the lowest here, then I went to do research and asked that, okay, I went to research that what's the lowest age, okay, that an American can have high school certificate. I get it now. What's the lowest age? And I got that lowest age is, I got a number of ages. I think I got 16, 17, 18. So I picked 17, right? Now, if 17 is the lowest age, it translates that in this age column, you should not have any age that is less than 17. Are you getting me now? You should not have any age here that is less than 17. It means that that's where our logic is going to start from. It means that all these ones that are 17, 18, 19, like that, they are valid. But every other age from 0 to 16 is invalid, which we need to replace and predict a better age that makes sense. That's number one. Number two problem we want to solve is the unknown. Okay? So, but for me, what we're going to do is let's just replace the unknown. Like somebody said, we can replace the unknown by either median or maybe just average. Are you getting it now? We can use median because of this 101, which is so much, which is an outlier. But what I use mean too, I think is okay. So that's all about everything. That's the explanation of the logic I want to use. Again, I would say that if this age is 17 and above, they should stay as they are. If it is unknown, no, unknown comes last. If it is less than 17, then we should replace them. That's the logic now. We're going to replace them by the average age of the corresponding education. For example, look at 15. Okay, this one is 15 years old. If this is 15, we are going to tell Excel to replace it with, this person is PhD, right? We're going to tell Excel to replace it with, get all the ages of all the PhD holder in this data set and find the average of their age and replace this 15 by that average. That's basically what we're going to do. Okay, another one that is, for example, this one is 1. This one is 3. This one that is 3 too. Look at the education, which is bachelor's. Look for all the bachelor holders and calculate their average and replace this 3 by their average. So if you think about it, you see that this is a smarter and more, much more efficient way to predict age, and to replace the ages, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's write it. So I created another column called predicted age. I'm going to write the formula now. So a formula, as you know, starts with what?
I have an observation before you continue.
You said what?
I said I have an observation before you continue.
Okay.
Okay, I noticed that there are some occupation or maybe some occupation or education that has maybe like
Unknown.
They have age that are inconsistent too. Like somebody that is in high school is 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's
No,
32 years.
So yeah, so this is the explanation. So that's why we say that understanding of the data set is very important. So the education you are seeing here is not that they are still in school or no. The education here means that what is your highest status or level of education. For example, now this person that is 70, this person that is 78 years, it doesn't mean that the person is still doing bachelor's, still in university or no. It means that this
What about
person,
91 years that is a student?
yes, it means that this person is a bachelor's degree holder. Okay, so it means that this person, the highest level of education of that person is bachelor. It means that that person did not do masters or did not do PhD or something. Are you getting it now? This person that is 72, even less than this one, it means that this person is a master's degree holder. Why, when the person was still going to school, when the person was still studying, was still in the educational, you know, terrain, right? The person stopped at masters. The person did not want go further to do PhD or whatever. So it's very okay if somebody is very old, like let's say like our president now. If our president says, "Oh, I'm a master's degree holder," we go to his university and say, "Is it really a master's degree holder?" You understand? We'll not say, "Oh, because you are old, you cannot be a master." No, 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 no. I get what I'm saying. So it doesn't mean that the person is still there or the person is, I mean, the person is still in school. No, the person holds the
Okay.
certificate. So that's the idea. All right. So let's
26
quickly
and retired.
do this. So sorry, any other question? You guys can just hold on and let's just finish this one. So we say equal to. Okay, so I'm going to start with if. We say if. So I intentionally came to Excel so that you can at least write an Excel formula together. So equal to if, open brackets. Now, if what now? I said if the age, right? So we'll come here, we'll click this age, bam. And get it now. If age is less than 17, um that's the main what am I saying? Okay, yeah. So that's the main stuff. If age is less than 17, right? Comma. Okay, if age is less than 17, that is this is the logical test. Now value if true. So we're going to do what we call a nested if here. If age is less than 17, okay. Now, you know that in education, there are some education are unknown. Some education are unknown, right? So we're going to put that condition there too and say that if, okay, if, sorry, say if education, this one, is unknown. If education is unknown, are you getting now? If education is unknown here, okay, then we're going to find the average age of all this, everything in this column. Okay, so then we say then average, okay, of everything here. Okay, all right, so that is the 10. So then we close it. All right, now value if false, it means that if education is not unknown, so what do? We get the average if. Okay, so let's pick average ifs. Okay, so average if um so this is the average range. So the average range is the column you want to calculate the average, comma. Next, the criteria range. The criteria range is education. So if you don't know average if, it can be a bit confusing for you, right? Now, the criteria one is if for education, click it like this, okay, comma. And the criteria range, we say that, sorry, I think I made a mistake there. So the criteria is education, age, education, yeah, education, and then close it, close, comma. So value if false, then it should return this. Hopefully I've not made a mistake with that. Amazing stuff. Can you guys see now? All right. So I can go over the function, the stuff again, so that you can see it well. So now you see what we have. Now looking at this page, let's go over it again. This says if this is the first thing we went through, right? If so, this says if age, that is if age is less than 17, if this one is less than 17, okay, then do all these things, everything here. Are you getting now? Do everything here. If it's not less than 17, just return the age. And that's why when you see whatever age you see here that is greater than 17 or 17 or above, you're going to see them here too. 17, 17, 17, 17, 32, 32, and like that. Else, if it is not, okay, yeah, so that is it. So for those that are now less than 17, these are the things they're going to do. Okay, there are other conditions to consider. For those that are less than 17, if this education, when education too is unknown, has some unknown too, right? Not unknown. Actually should have used not specified, right? Not specified, just like what we have here. But what we have in education is not specified, right? So I'm gonna correct this and say not specified. Okay. So I can add one more if this is unknown. So what we're supposed to do actually is if it's less than 17, right? So if education is not specified like you have here, then give us the average of all the ages here, right? Okay. However, if education is not unspecified, okay, give us the average of the ages of the people in each category. That's the major explanation of this average if. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically what we have. But if you look at it closely, you see that it seems there's still something we've not undo in the conditions. You can see unknown here. So here, of course, you can see that the lowest we have here is 17. And you can see unknown here, right? And that's because we've not undo the unknown. So how do we undo the unknown? We'll come here. So instead of saying that, let me expand this. If age is less than 17, there's also unknown here too. So we can bring unknown here and we can say that if, and use what we call the or, say or, right? Open this and then we close it here. And we'll say less than 17 or what? Age this equal to unknown. Okay, equal to unknown. Yes, I think that should work. Amazing. Let's see. Voila. So we don't have unknown again, and we have all the dates there. I mean, all the ages there. And basically, that's it. We've handled the age now. So what we did is that when the age is less than 17, or if it is unknown, give us carry out all these things. Okay, so you can as well just leave the two, or we just hide the first one, and all we'll do is we can just reduce, let's say here, make it whole number, oops, so all right, so these are the ages we have now. So basically we've cleaned this data set, and this is it after like I think 1.5 hours. All right, so that's it. I'm going to hide this age, hide it. And at the end of the day, we have control shift down 1,656 rows We obviously did not remove anything except for just 3 duplicates. The rest replace nulls with you know, some figures. So, and that's everything here. Someone is saying that why can't it just be numbers? So it's just an assumption from my end, assuming that we don't need to add or do any calculation on credit score. So if you assume that we need to do that, then that's fine. Then you need to find a value for all this not applicable, okay? Or maybe use 0 for them. So that's straightforward. So overall, what you want to achieve with the data set, how you want to analyze it, what you want to do with it, do you want to build a model or whatever, to a large extent determines what you would do with the data cleaning. So I would stop here and I will take some questions, suggestions, comments. Yeah. So thank you guys. So I think I'm done.
Wow. Thank you so much, Benga. This is really, really very insightful. I really learned a lot following through. So thank you so much. And I know we also learned something. And like he said, and also I mentioned in the last in our last encounter, there are lots of ways you can actually do this depending on your, I think domain knowledge is also important. So you can decide to remove a column, you can decide to add, you can decide to, depending on what you want to achieve at the end of the day, like he said. So thank you so much, Benga. Please, let's encourage him. Let's thank him. And so I'll also encourage you guys, if you can replay this video, you can also, if you did not try, attempt it at all, please, after going through the video, just try and practice. Okay. Thank you so much, Wing. I don't know if you have if you have 5 minutes for questions.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take
we can continue in the community, because we're supposed to have just 1 hour, and this is 9:35.
Yeah.
Have 1 hour 35 minutes. So I think we are clear. We are very clear on this, and we can continue the conversation in the chat so that we can have time for other things as well. So thank you very much. I think we can end this discussion here, and we can continue in the chat. Please, let's appreciate him. It's very important. And also, I think I mentioned that he has a YouTube channel at The Data Doctor. Please, the only thank you we can give him, the only payments, or the only appreciation we can give him is to follow him on his page, YouTube channel. He has and also follow him on Twitter and on LinkedIn at Data Doctor. So please, thank you so much, Benga. We really appreciate you, and I also want to thank you for your continuous support, contribution in the community, for attending to questions, and also responding to some complaints in the chat. So thank you so much. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you very much, Benga. And thank you everyone for joining this challenge. And I know many of us dropped along the way. Please, I will encourage you to try it on your own. Go over the video again, play it again, and get the fresh data, download the dirty data set again, and you can just look at it very well. Then try and practice again. Try and clean the data set again. So data cleaning is very important. If your data is not clean, just know that your insight at the end of the day will not be good, right? So that is why that was the major reason why I said let's just focus on this data cleaning, right, for this challenge. So we're going to have more interesting challenge coming up. So let's thank you so much. I think we can wrap it up from here. Thank you, Benga. Thank you, everyone, for joining. So good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night, and thank you.